Sports. I'm Chris Woodley. Despite an ugly end in Kansas City, recent history shows a positive rebound. The Colts have chalked up victories after both of their previous losses this fall. CBS Sports' Dave Griffiths has more from a Colts team that tends to learn lessons well.
The Colts move on from their loss to the Chiefs with the lessons learned on the road.
You always using these, type of scenarios, like I say, for opportunity for growth, understanding that, a loss is not fatal and a win is not final.
Didn't make the plays on the stretch that we needed to, that we have, so just got to clean that up. I don't think that's one area necessarily. I think kind of across the board, we all have to do better.
To be sharp on Sunday against the Texans, the Colts are changing up their practice plans a bit this week. Wednesday's usual practice is now just a walkthrough. A little bit less physical work, a little bit more time for guys to rest and recharge their bodies late in the season.
You're not getting as many practice reps, so you got to make sure the mental reps truly do count. Don't just watch the play and say, oh, okay, that's what we're running. Go through, okay, well, what's my adjustment on this play if this were to happen, or if they showed this front. So really make every rep count when you're going through it mentally.
There's a lot of things that play into it. There's a lot of sports science, that's taken, transition over the past, decade. And just making sure these guys are in tip-top shape, going into this game, especially late in the season.
And these games will determine the AFC South champion as the Horseshoes look to get back on top of the division for the first time in more than a decade. With the Colts, I'm Dave Griffiths.
Gotta stay fresh. Hey, the 100th anniversary of the old Oaken Bucket game is upon us. Second-ranked and unbeaten Indiana, a 4-touchdown favorite to keep the wooden trophy in Bloomington when they meet 2-9 Purdue at Ross-Ade Stadium Friday night. And the stakes really could not be higher. A Hoosier win, and they'll not only complete their first ever 12-0 regular season, but they'll also qualify for their first Big Ten championship game. Barry Odom's crew would like nothing more than to spoil their party. Purdue has won the annual rivalry 5 of the last 7 meetings, but not every player on the teams have grown up with this.
Like my old days against the people we hate, I think that definitely translates, and it helps me understand, where these guys are coming from, right, and where this team's at, and it helps you bring that edge, that intensity, right, because it might not be the team that I was raised on, but it's the team that somebody else was raised on, so I understand that passion, that feeling just as much as everybody else in that locker room, so I'm definitely bringing the intensity in the game today.
It's a rivalry for Purdue, and that's a rivalry for me too, so I'm excited. I know what it means to the fans. I know how much history has gone into this game, so I'm gonna treat it just like how everybody else is treating, how the fans are treating.
And that comes with passion. They'll kick off the bucket battle Friday night, Ross-Ade Stadium at 7:45. And Bob, it's a big one. I mean, if Indiana can get this thing done, You hate to root for one side or the other, but boy, IU needs this game a little bit more than Purdue does.
I mean, the bucket game's always just a little bit different, though.
It is.
You never know.
66-0 last year, though, so Purdue remembers that.
All right.
We'll see if that factors in at all.
All right, thank you, Chris. CBS 4 is proud to celebrate the women who inspire change through compassion, innovation, and personal strength. Nominate a remarkable woman in your life for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to Nashville and for $1,000 for a charity. She could be a teacher, a nurse, a community leader, or your best friend. Nominate one or more at cbs4indy.com/contests.
Tonight, welcome one and all in here, out there, around the world to the Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Stephen's got Emma Stone, plus Alex Wagner. CBS Tonight.
Tonight's Pacers-Raptors game featured teams going in different directions. The Pacers have lost 2 straight. They have the second worst record in the Eastern Conference. The Raptors have won 8 straight with the second best record in the East. Here are the highlights. Jarris Walker got off to a great start for the blue and gold. The 22-year-old forward buries that one from long distance. Toronto's been having a great season so far, thanks in part to Brandon Ingram, who averages 21, got 2 there. Going back to Toronto, always a homecoming for Pascal Siakam. The former Raptor scored 11 tonight. The Pacers blew an 11-point lead against Toronto. There's Brandon Ingram hitting a 3. He finished with 26. TJ McConnell came off the bench, provided a spark. He had 16 points, 7 boards, and 6 assists. But the Raptors find a way to pull it out. Ingram hits the go-ahead to clinch it. Toronto wins it 97-95. Pacers are back home Friday night against the Washington Wizards.
6th Street.
For all the success the Colts have had in this first two-thirds of the season, they'll still have to maintain at least that level in the final 6 weeks. An 8-3 record does not guarantee anything as far as the playoffs are concerned. Even the AFC South is still very much up in the air. A wrinkle in the schedule means the Colts will close out with 4 division opponents in their final 6 games, twice against the Texans, including this Sunday at home, and twice against Jacksonville, the first of those next Sunday down south. The Colts going with just a walkthrough on Wednesday. Coach Shane Steichen talking about not overdoing the midweek reps to keep his guys in game shape for these late season Sundays.
If you look around the league, I think a lot of teams, have a walkthrough Wednesdays. Just as you get going, it's just such a long season from training camp all the way till now, and you want to make sure these guys are fresh and ready to go late in the season so they can play with max effort. There's a lot of things that play into it. There's a lot of sports science, that's taken, transition over the past, decade, and just making sure these guys are in tip-top shape.
Daniel Jones raising some eyebrows the last couple games. His numbers regressing a bit from the first half of the season, and he continues to deal with something of an issue in one of his legs. Officially a fibula on the team's injury report. Jones says he'll deal with that, though, staying fully focused on this next matchup.
Something I felt last week, and tough to say exactly when, but something I felt last week I looked at, and been really good working with the trainers here and making sure we're ready to go, got a good plan.
Jacksonville's at Tennessee on Sunday, and the Jags are just 1 game behind Indy in the standings.
Check it twice.